Alright, so here's the Plexi Fuzz, inspired by the Wampler Velvet Fuzz. And just a couple of enhancements to the pedal that inspired this one. First off, the gain and the level controls are identical to the original pedal. The tone control is expanded in the Plexi Fuzz. The original pedal, if you think about it going from 0 to 10, I've condensed that down to 0 to 7 in this pedal, meaning maxed out tone control in the original would be around 2-3 o'clock in this version. And then of course you've got that expanded range. You can dial in more brightness if you like, which can be helpful because this pedal tends to be dark. The other big changes, or enhancements I should say, is you have a 4-position bottom switch and a 4-position mode switch. I'll go over the mode switch first. So in the original pedal you're locked into either the big fuzz or the tight fuzz modes, I should say, which this pedal has both of those modes. But this pedal also lets you bypass those two fuzz inputs and just use the Plexi engine as a standalone pedal if you like. Or of course you could feed the Plexi engine with your own fuzz control or overdrive. And I find that to be very useful, so you're not just locked into the two internal fuzz units. And then there's a fourth mode, which is a boosted Plexi mode. It's essentially the original Plexi mode, but with added gain into the first stage of the engine. It just provides a little bit more gain, and you could find that useful, again, especially if you're driving this with another overdrive or your own fuzz pedal. So you have 4 different choices there. And then you also have a bottom control. So instead of being locked into a single bass setting like the original pedal, which incidentally is this position here, you have 4 different levels of bottom end you can set the pedal for. Think of the bottom end as the number of speakers you're emulating. 1 by means a 1 by 12, 2 times 2 by 12, 4 by 12 cabinet, or 8 by 12 for a whole lot of thump. So between that and the expanded tone control range, you can really adjust this pedal based on your gear. You know, if you have a dark amp, you might want to dial those back, or dial up the tone and dial back the bottom. If you have a bright amp or guitar, you know, you can compensate with those 2 positions. I'm sorry, with these 2 controls. And then last but not least, one of the best things in my mind about this pedal is you can switch from 50-watt mode and 100-watt mode. And what that does is internally changes the pedal from running off at 9 volts or 18 volts. So always feed the pedal with a standard 9-volt supply, but internally it'll bump that voltage up to about 18 volts if you're in the 100-watt mode. And that completely changes the character of the distortion and the pedal itself. First thing you'll notice is it gets much louder. So you'll have more output. You'll also have more headroom, meaning the character of the distortion changes a bit. And it also allows more of the low end to come through. So you'll find that the settings that you prefer in the 50-watt mode between your tone and your bottom probably will not apply in the 100-watt mode. You'll probably want to readjust these two, depending on whether you're in 50-watt or 100-watt mode. And I find it a lot of fun putting it in 100-watt mode, leaving it in Plexi mode, and then feeding it with another overdrive or fuzz pedal. It just, to me, sounds incredible. Even the Plexi by itself, I think sounds great in either mode, 50-watt or 100-watt. So that's about it. Enjoy, and let me know how you make out.